Hello. Hotshot is a blessing that you can put on your helper las gun, and um, to prove that it actually does something, here, let's actually spawn something slightly different, and we'll just do these enemies. So I'll line up these common infected enemies, and see how much cleave there is. So I have absolutely no cleave with the helper las gun. Now, what you would think is Hotshot would give you gives you more cleave, and plus 50 cleave. Mathematically in your head, you would probably think, oh, that would make me hit one additional enemy, or depending on like their cleave value, right? And that's what it seems like, right? So we'll just go ahead and do it, and let's get slightly more stable enemies. Do Pods Walker. And you would think so. And that's exactly what happens. You hit 2 more enemies. So just to prove it a little more. There we go. 2 enemies. 2. 2. And then there's 1 more. But what if I told you switching from Hotshot level 4 to Hotshot level 1 not only gives you more cleave, but it's even more than you would think. Even more. So let's actually read the blessing description. Plus 20% cleave to weak spot hits. Now the key word here is plus 20%. Now you would think this is an additive buff, but we can actually demonstrate this, that the that the description's not entirely accurate. Let's do it again. So if I turn on the Hellfire mod, you can actually see it a lot more clearly. Then I'm actually cleaving through a lot more enemies. Let's turn it back on. And if I turn this back on, oh, that's right. It does not show up on these enemies. I'll spawn some shotgunners. I could actually see it. It goes through a lot more enemies. It goes through all of them, in fact. To spawn more, you can actually see the effect a little bit better. So isn't that weird, right? You're effectively multiplying your damage immensely by taking the level 1 blessing. And I'm going to show you exactly how this works and why this works. So I have Darktide's source code pulled up here. As you can see, this is the hotshot weapon blessing. And you'll see here, the way that they describe this, it's a consumed hit mass modifier, keyword modifier, I'll just keep that in mind, on weak spot hit is 0.2. This is level 1. And as you go up, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. And those match up with, they somewhat correlate to the values of the descriptions, right? So to illustrate what the code actually says about hotshot, this is hotshot right here, applied to a variable. And you'll notice when you actually hit a weak spot that the hit mass of the enemy right here gets multiplied by this value. And you're thinking, wait, I thought this was an additive value. And that's what the description says, but that's what it says here. It's multiplying that modifier value by the hit mass of the enemy. And I have a little bit of a outline here of what it actually means. So if the code actually worked as the description described the hit mass of the enemy. So we'll say to actually line it up better. So this is normally how it works. Right here. So this is how this would work, right? So I'm just gonna freshen up the description. Hit mass damage, which is right here. Consumed hit mass modifier on ranged hit. That is what the weapon stat will be. Consumed hit mass modifier right here. And usually the buff will be applied by the weapon that you're currently equipped. But what the description is actually saying, it's actually doing this. So it's like even more than you would think. So the hit mass of the enemy gets multiplied right here. Gets multiplied by hotshot, the hotshot value. So here's the highest blessing, 0.5. That's the highest value that it can be. And this is the level 1 blessing value, 0.2. And I wrote out the description, what an accurate description of this would be. So you're effectively doubling the amount of hit mass damage you're doing on level 4. And on the level 1 blessing, it's getting multiplied by 5 times. Which is kind of insane. It's a pretty big difference than what you'd expect. So to conclude this video, you should be taking Hotshot Blessing level 1 and not Hotshot Blessing level 4 if you want to maximize your Hellbore damage. If you want to see more videos like this, where I deep dive into Darktide mechanics, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm definitely going to be diving into more Darktide content, uploading gameplay videos, and a little bit of the deep dive stuff that I really love enjoying going into. So yeah, thanks for watching.